Imagine a sound you've never heard before, not the roar of a single beast, but a monstrous, fragmented cacophony. The deep, guttural bellow of a lion, mixed with the shrill, frantic bleating of a mountain goat, all punctuated by the venomous hiss of a dragon. What kind of creature makes such a sound? What kind of being is it that can't even express itself with a single voice? This is the sound of discord, the sound of a living paradox. We're not in a deep forest tonight or a dark dungeon. We're high up on a desolate, wind-swept mountaintop, a place where the air feels thin and charged with a power that feels unnatural. And in the shadowed cliffs and jagged peaks, we will turn our minds to a creature that shouldn't exist, a being that is a living monument to a terrible mistake, a mistake of power. This is the Chimera. It's a creature born from a forbidden wish, a living weapon stitched together from 3 different lives, 3 different minds, all forced into one body. What could be more frightening than a monster with one heart that beats for the hunt, one heart that beats with a wild, untamed rage, and one that beats with a cold, serpentine cunning? What kind of arrogant mind would attempt to create such a thing? And what is the true cost of such a creation? Tonight, we won't just see a monster. We'll contemplate a tragedy. We will explore the chilling origin of this creature, the beautiful and terrible discord of its form, and the war that rages not just against its enemies, but within its very soul. So, find your calm, settle into the quiet, and let us begin our contemplation of the fragmented heart. The journey has just begun. We've heard the fragmented sound of its voice, and felt the unnatural chill of its presence. Now, let's peel back the layers of legend and rumor to explore its tragic beginning. This is a story that begins not with a monster, but with a fatal mistake, a catastrophic act of magical hubris. The stories say there was a time, long forgotten, when magic was not just a tool, but a force of terrifying, unchecked ambition. In that era, there lived a collective of ancient, powerful wizards, their names lost to time, their minds so twisted by forbidden knowledge that they believed themselves to be superior to the very gods. They looked at the world and saw not harmony, but inefficiency. They saw predators of great strength, great cunning, and great fury, but they saw each as incomplete. Their goal was not merely to create a powerful beast. Their true goal was to prove a point, that they could improve upon nature itself. They sought to do what no god had ever done, to create a unified, ultimate predator, a living weapon of unparalleled might and terror. They believed that by combining the best traits of the most powerful beasts, they could forge a being that was a perfect killing machine, a chimera of terror with a singular, terrible purpose. And so, the dark ritual began. It was a brutal, meticulous act of magical violence, a ritual described in long-forgotten, crumbling tomes. The ingredients for this terrible creation were gathered: the majestic and powerful lion, a creature of noble, predatory grace; the wild, untamed fury and instinctual defiance of a mountain goat, a creature that knows only survival on the unforgiving peaks; and the ancient, reptilian malice and dark magic of a dragon, a being of cunning and destructive force. This was not a simple act of combining body parts. It was the horrifying process of forcing 3 distinct philosophies of life, 3 different kinds of consciousness, to exist within a single form. The forbidden runic circles glowed with an unholy light as the 3 creatures, chained and terrified, were brought together. Their very souls were not just bound, but violently torn from their individual bodies and merged in a single, horrifying act of magical surgery. The wizards, in their arrogance, assumed that these three disparate souls would fuse into a single, harmonious, superior consciousness. They believed they were creating a divine being, but their great flaw, their fatal mistake, was in their hubris. They failed to understand that a part is not a whole. They did not create a harmonious new being. They created a creature of eternal, internal conflict. When the magic settled, there was no single triumphant cry. Instead, there was a single, jarring, discordant sound. The furious roar, the frantic bleat, and the hissing malevolence all at once. It was a sound that signified a soul that had been torn into three pieces, a mind at war with itself, a magnificent, magical failure. The creature's first instinct was not to hunt a mortal, but to attack itself, a brutal, horrifying testament to the discord that raged within. The chimera is, in its very essence, a living, breathing, cautionary tale. It is a warning to all who would seek to control nature, to all who believe that power is simply a matter of combination. It is a creature born of a beautiful lie, the lie that you can create perfection from disparate parts, and its every breath is a tragic, discordant truth. It is a living scar on the world, a constant reminder of the terrible consequences of arrogant, unchecked, magical power. A creature whose very existence is a paradox of creation and destruction, forever caught between the three warring souls that define it. This is not a single beast, but a monstrous mosaic, a horrifying, beautiful testament to a terrible mistake. Its description and anatomy are a story unto themselves, a living, breathing metaphor for the conflict that rages within its very soul. Focus first on the most striking feature, the terrifying trinity of its three heads. They are not in harmony. They are in a state of perpetual, silent war. On the right side, there is the regal and proud head of a lion. Its golden mane, thick and powerful, seems to have been plucked from a great beast of the plains. Its eyes, however, are not the calm, amber eyes of a hunting predator. They hold a flash of ancient pain, a look of profound sorrow, and a snarl that never seems to fully fade, a constant sign of its corrupted nature. This head represents the creature's raw, physical power, the immense strength of its predatory instinct. It is the part of the chimera that understands the hunt, the part that is driven by a simple, brutal code of violence. On the left side, there is the gnarled, maddened head of a mountain goat. Its fur is often matted and wild, its horns are sharp and curved, and its eyes are perhaps the most unsettling of all. They swirl with a frantic, unthinking madness, a chaotic energy that reflects a mind that knows only rage and defiance. This head represents the creature's unpredictable fury, a primal survival instinct, so warped that it has become a kind of low-grade insanity. It is the source of the creature's stubborn violence, a sudden, inexplicable burst of fury that often comes at the worst possible moment. And at the center, completing the trinity, is the sly, reptilian head of a dragon. This head is the chimera's intelligence, its cunning, and its cold malice. Its scales are often a dark green or a somber black, and its slitted, intelligent eyes hold a cold malice that is both ancient and terrifying. This head is the calculating hunter, the part that understands strategy, that sees the world as a complex puzzle of prey and threat. It is the most dangerous of the three, for it is the one that knows how to hate. These three heads are never still. They hiss, they bleat, they growl and snarl at each other, not in a loud, boisterous way, but in a low, constant murmur of internal conflict. They will turn to face different directions, at the same time, their thoughts pulling the creature in 3 different, opposing directions. This constant physical discord is a perfect visual metaphor for the internal war that rages within its soul. From this monstrous trinity, we move down the rest of its composite body. The creature's 4 quarters are that of a magnificent lion, with powerful, muscled shoulders and massive, clawed paws that can crush stone. The dense, golden mane that surrounds the lion's head is matted and unkempt, a sign of its isolation and internal chaos. This part of the body embodies physical strength and the relentless pursuit of prey. But then, as your eyes travel back, you see the horrifying shift. The muscled 4 quarters of the lion fade and merge into the scaly, serpentine body of a dragon. The fur and muscle give way to cold scales, and the powerful hind legs are reptilian and powerful. Its long, powerful, dragon-like tail, often tipped with a vicious spike or a cruel hook, represents the lurking, cunning part of its nature, a silent, deadly weapon that can be used to ensnare or bludgeon its prey without warning. And finally, atop this monstrous amalgamation are its massive, bat-like wings. They are stretched taut with dark, membranous skin, and they don't beat with the grace of a great eagle or the power of a mighty dragon. They beat with a jarring, unnatural rhythm, a sound like the tearing of air, a harsh, fluttering cacophony that reflects the creature's discordant nature. The very motion of its flight is a struggle, a powerful but clumsy act of will from 3 different minds that seek to go in different directions. The chimera is a sensory experience of discord. Its cry is a terrifying symphony of rage, fear, and malice all at once. A distant listener would be disoriented and terrified, unable to place the sound of a single, coherent beast. Its scent is a pungent, unsettling combination of ozone and burnt hair from its dragon's breath, mingled with the earthy, musky scent of a goat and the raw, predatory musk of a lion. Its very presence is a feeling of primal terror from the lion, unsettling madness from the goat, and a cold, cunning dread from the dragon, all at once. The chimera's every physical detail, from its mismatched parts to its jarring cry, is a visual and oral metaphor for its internal, tragic conflict, a soul and body that are forever at war with themselves. The creature we have been describing, while the most well-known, is just one possible outcome of a fundamentally flawed magical process. The term chimera is not a single species, but rather a title, a horrifying label for any creature born of such an unnatural fusion. These other forms, these other species and types, are simply the echoes of a flaw that resonated in many different magical experiments. The classic chimera, the one with the lion's head, the goat's head, and the dragon's head, is the archetype. It is the form that we most often speak of in ancient tales, because it was the most common result of the original mages' hubris. They chose these 3 animals for their distinct and potent natures: the lion for its regal power, the mountain goat for its stubborn tenacity, and the dragon for its terrifying magic and cunning. This combination was meant to be the pinnacle of their monstrous craft, and it stands as the most famous example of their magnificent failure. But imagine for a moment the vastness of the natural world and the equally vast ambition of a mad mage. What other terrible creations might have been brought into being? Think of a minotaur chimera, for instance. A creature with the brute strength and horned head of a minotaur, the powerful body of a bear, and the wings and malice of a wyvern. Its discord would be a different kind of war. The labyrinthine, cunning mind of the minotaur, designed for a specific kind of predatory hunting, clashing with the mindless, ferocious rage of the bear and the treacherous, serpentine instincts of the wyvern. It would be a creature of pure, raw fury, a terrifying embodiment of brute force with an insidious intellect lurking beneath the surface. It would be a different kind of tragedy, but a tragedy no less profound. Or what of a griffin chimera, a creature born from the proud, noble head of an eagle, the powerful body of a great lion, and the cunning, magical malice of a basilisk's head? The griffin, in its natural form, is a magnificent creature of unified purpose, a symbol of strength and grace. But a griffin chimera would be a perversion of that nobility. The discord would be a war between a proud aerial hunter and a cold reptilian killer. It would be a creature whose body is beautiful, but whose very soul is an elegant, terrifying corruption. It would be a creature that hunts with the magnificent grace of an eagle, only to turn and deliver a venomous, petrifying gaze, a horrifying testament to its internal conflict. Even the oceans, with all their secrets, would not have been safe from such hubris. Imagine a kind of aquatic chimera, a monster stitched together from the parts of a great white shark, a monstrous squid, and a sea serpent. Its discord would be the raw, untamed fury of the ocean itself, the constant, gnawing hunger of the shark, the quiet, ambush predator tactics of the squid, and the ancient, territorial malice of the sea serpent, all fighting for control within a single, terrifying form. It would be a monster of the deep, a living embodiment of the ocean's chaotic and brutal fury, a constant reminder that the flaw of discord is not limited to the sky and the mountains. The crucial point, the universal truth that connects all of these different forms, is this: every single chimera, regardless of its specific parts, is a creature of profound discord. They are all echoes of a flaw, a living testament to the fact that you cannot simply mash different souls and bodies together and expect a harmonious result. The wizards thought they were creating a single superior being. Instead, they created 1,000 different forms of a single tragic truth, that a creature whose very existence is a constant internal war is destined to be a solitary, chaotic, and profoundly sorrowful force of destruction. Every chimera, no matter its form, is a tragic prisoner of its own internal chaos, a silent monument to the vanity of its creators. The most striking and dangerous aspect of the chimera is its unpredictable behavior. Its actions are not random, but a direct result of the 3 warring instincts inside it, a constant, silent battle for control of its body and mind. One moment, a chimera might be soaring gracefully through the thin mountain air, its dragon's mind guiding it with cunning and precision as it circles for its prey. But then, without warning, the frantic, terrified instinct of the goat's mind might seize control, causing it to suddenly dive into a panicked, erratic flight, veering wildly from side to side. It might land and begin stalking its prey with the silent, predatory cunning of a great cat, the lion's mind, only to suddenly let out a bizarre, uncoordinated series of roars and bleats, alerting every creature in the area to its presence. Its movements, its choices, are a constant, terrifying push and pull, a reflection of a creature that can never truly decide what it wants to do, or what it is. The internal struggle is constant, and it is a battle it can never win. The lion's mind might want to charge with brute force, but the dragons might want to use a breath weapon from a distance, while the goats might just want to flee from a perceived threat, causing the chimera to stand frozen in place, a creature of conflicting desires. Its movements are often a clumsy, terrifying compromise between these three instincts, and this very unpredictability is what makes it such a formidable and horrifying predator. But there is one ability, one terrifying moment, when all three parts of the chimera seem to come into a state of horrifying, perfect harmony. This is when the creature unleashes its breath weapon. In that single, brief instant, the lion's immense strength holds the body steady and grounded. The goat's frantic, desperate rage provides the motivation for its destructive power, and the dragon's ancient, magical malice provides the means. The result is a terrifyingly beautiful blast of pure, magical destruction, usually a torrent of fire, but sometimes acid or something else entirely. It is the one moment the three parts of the chimera seem to act as one, a terrifying display of its true potential if it were a single, unified being. But the moment of unity is brief and unsustainable. In the aftermath of its destructive breath, the creature will often fall into a state of chaotic calm, a shuddering exhaustion, as if the moment of shared purpose was too much for its fragmented soul to bear. The internal struggle then returns with a vengeance, and the creature resumes its chaotic existence, a living reminder of the war that rages within. Its combat style is a brutal and disharmonious reflection of this nature. It does not fight with the grace or coordinated precision of a single, unified predator. Instead, it is a whirlwind of brute, chaotic force, a terrifying dance of three different styles of violence. The lion's head will snap and bite with immense power, its massive claws tearing at its prey. The goat's head will deliver frantic, surprising headbutts, a furious and stubborn act of violence. And the dragon's head will hiss and spit, often delivering its breath weapon from a point-blank range as a sudden, desperate act of violence. This chaotic combination of brute force, panicked rage, and magical malice is terrifying not because it is a perfect weapon, but because it is an unrelenting, uncoordinated storm of violence that overwhelms its prey with its sheer, frantic fury. The psychological element is as much a weapon as its claws and teeth. The chimera's terrifying, multi-part cry and its unpredictable, erratic movements are designed to shatter its prey's sense of a predictable world, overwhelming them not just physically but mentally. It is a creature that wins not just by being strong, but by its very existence being a chaotic assault on the very concept of order. Its abilities and behavior are a living, tragic testament to the war within, a constant reminder that a soul torn into three pieces can never know peace, and can never truly be whole. The chimera is not a natural part of any ecosystem. It doesn't fill a niche. It creates a vacuum of chaos and fear. It is a force of pure, destructive desolation. Unlike a wolf pack that maintains a balance by hunting a specific prey, the chimera's presence is a magical scar on the landscape. A place where a chimera has made its home becomes a region where animals are perpetually on edge, where the natural food chain is completely disrupted, and where the land itself seems to recoil from the chimera's unnatural existence. Its chaotic nature means it does not hunt with a predictable pattern, and its three different hungers make it a living disaster for any region it inhabits, hunting everything from a deer in the forest to a great bear on a high peak. It leaves a wake of destruction and terror wherever it goes, and its very existence serves as a testament to the fact that you cannot introduce such a fundamental flaw into the world without it creating an equal and opposite force of external chaos. This insatiable and devastating impact is a direct result of its diet, a horrifying reflection of its three parts. Because its three minds are never truly in agreement, its three stomachs are never truly satisfied. It is in a perpetual state of hunger, a creature that eats to fill a void that can never be filled. The lion's appetite drives it to hunt large game. The goat's hunger drives it to consume wild plants and smaller animals, and the dragon's hunger drives it to consume a wide range of prey, and even to hunt for shiny objects, which it consumes as a form of bizarre magical nourishment. This insatiable hunger makes it a relentless hunter, a terrifying engine of consumption that will not rest until its constant internal emptiness is momentarily filled. The chimera's internal discord is also perfectly reflected in its lairs. These are not warm dens or structured nests. They are isolated, desolate places that mirror the creature's outcast nature. The chimera favors high, desolate peaks, mountaintops, or forgotten, ruined fortresses, places that are both hard to reach and utterly isolated from civilization. These are places where the wind is cold and sharp, and where the sound of its fragmented cry echoes for miles. A perfect soundscape for a creature that is so profoundly alone. The contents of its lair are a visual representation of its internal chaos. You will find not just bones and discarded carcasses, but a horrifying, chaotic jumble of things. The bleached bones of a great beast lying next to the half-chewed remnants of a tree, a stolen, shiny shield it has dragged back to its lair, all lying in a chaotic mess with no order or purpose. The air would feel cold and still, a place where nothing natural has lived in a very long time, and where the air smells of scorched stone from its breath, mingled with the musk of its lion and goat parts, and the decay of its refuse. The chimera's lair is a living monument to its discord, a place of profound desolation and chaos, a perfect reflection of the tragic, internal war that it can never escape. The chimera has no allies, no friends. Other creatures of the wilderness, even other great beasts and monsters, view it with a mixture of fear and contempt. A powerful dragon might see its chaotic, unpredictable nature as a dangerous mockery of its own cunning. A proud griffin might see its discordant flight as a disgusting perversion of graceful flight. Its erratic behavior and three warring instincts make it fundamentally impossible to trust. It cannot form a bond, cannot be reasoned with, and cannot be truly understood even by its own kind. Its solitary existence is not a choice. It is a tragic inevitability, for a creature so profoundly at odds with itself is fundamentally incapable of forming a connection with another being. Its very existence is an eternal, internal argument, and there is no room for another voice in that cacophony. This profound isolation is the final, tragic layer of the chimera's tale. It is a creature that, in its every moment, is searching for a unity it can never achieve, a peace it can never find, because it is a creature that is not one. And this leads us to what the chimera truly represents. It is the ultimate embodiment of discord and internal war. Its three heads, its three minds, and its three appetites are a perfect metaphor for the conflicts that can rage within a single being. It is the living representation of what happens when a soul is not whole, when its desires are not aligned, and when its purpose is constantly being pulled in different directions. By contemplating this tragic creature, we can look at our own moments of inner conflict, our own conflicting desires, not with frustration, but with a detached, peaceful understanding. We can see our own struggles as a natural, if not always easy, part of life, and in that detached contemplation, find a strange, quiet peace. The chimera is also a living, breathing warning against hubris. Its very existence is a testament to the tragic consequences of a mage's pride, a reminder that some things in this world should not be meddled with. The chimera is a permanent scar on the fabric of creation, a monument to the foolish belief that a mortal mind could improve upon the fundamental laws of nature. It is a cautionary tale written in muscle, scale, and fur, a creature that serves as a constant reminder that power without wisdom is a recipe for catastrophe. In its tragic existence, the chimera is forever in a state of a perpetual, fruitless search for wholeness. Its life is a series of desperate, chaotic acts, all stemming from a core of profound disharmony. It is a creature that will never know peace, because it is a creature that is not one. This contemplation, ironically, helps us appreciate our own wholeness and the peace that comes with it. It allows us to let go of our own internal discord and to seek a state of harmony that the chimera can never know. Consider the chimera of the mind, the moments when a part of us wants to stay awake and worry, while another part wants to sleep and find rest. The part that wants to find peace, while another part clings to anger. The chimera is a physical representation of that struggle. And in our quiet contemplation of this creature, we can find the stillness to let those conflicting voices go, to let the three warring hearts of our own minds finally find a moment of peace, and to surrender to the simple, unified purpose of rest. It is a creature that teaches us, through its terrible existence, the profound value of being whole. And so, our time on the high, desolate peaks has come to an end. We are leaving the wind-swept haunts of a creature that should never have been. We've contemplated its unnatural origin, the chilling hubris that gave it life, and we have borne witness to the beautiful, terrible mosaic of its form. We have understood the war that rages within its soul, and the profound tragedy of its profound and total isolation. What is the quiet truth that a creature of so much discord can teach us? Perhaps it's that peace is not an absence of conflict, but the harmony of a single purpose. The chimera, in its constant war, teaches us the immeasurable value of being whole. What happens when we, too, feel like three different creatures? A part of us wanting one thing, a part of us wanting another, and a third part clinging to some primal instinct. The chimera is the physical representation of that struggle. But unlike it, we have the power to let go. Allow the lingering sound of its fragmented cry to finally dissolve into perfect silence. Let the cold wind of its home give way to the warmth and comfort of your own space. The monstrous, beautiful, and tragic image of the chimera is now a memory, a story told in the darkness. Just as the chimera can find no harmony, the waking thoughts and worries of the day are a kind of disharmony that we can choose to release. It's time now to let go of all the conflicting thoughts, the fragmented worries, and the lingering anxieties that are a part of every day. Surrender to the quiet that follows the end of a long, strange tale. Feel the harmony that comes from letting go of the internal conflict. Allow your mind to become one, your body to become one, and your soul to find a single, beautiful purpose, profound, deep, and peaceful sleep. Good night. May your rest be serene, and your dreams be whole.